Hey everyone, today we are talking about ClassMagic, engaging your class. There is no special magic secret sauce in the sense of giving you a script to predict the behavior of your class. However, there are tools, there are patterns, there are templates, but you do need to be adaptable. You do need to have a willingness to change. You do need to be quick on your feet and in your mind and with wit to adjust appropriately to keep the magic in your class. And it is an art form that becomes easier with time. You will have to think about these things before class starts to know what you're going to try to pursue and see how it works. And when it all falls apart, don't be too hard on yourself, but make sure that you do a better job next time. And like anything, it's an art form. You're just going to get better with it in time. So framing the class. The idea of framing is a term that references a person's mindset. A person with a larger mindset frame wins every time. So the example is this. If a child says, "This is boring," and you placate to their boredom, then they win and you lose. When you are the problem, they have the power. So again, if they're saying this is boring, they're presenting a mindset. They're framing their mindset that says this is boring. And if you say, yeah, it is, and let's do something else, then you're letting them have the power by saying, whenever I say something is boring, then obviously it does not have value. And so it's important to understand that boring does not mean lacks value. So the child says, this is boring. Your response is, yes, it is, and we are still doing it because it makes us better. You can acknowledge the comment, that's fine, but it doesn't mean you have to agree with the idea that boring means it isn't valuable. So understanding the power struggle that's going on in the words, what you agree to is different than what you acknowledge. Don't agree to things that give them the power. Acknowledge them. Oh, really? Yes, you want to jump out of line? Awesome, I see that. But you're still not allowed to. Oh, yes, jumping on the trampoline is fun, but that's not what we're doing, so get off the trampoline, please. So acknowledging is fine, but agreeing with them that what they're doing is okay, or what they think is okay, or going to get them where they want to go, that's not what you're trying to do. You do not want to set them up for failure, so you have to say, well, if you want that front tuck, then we have to do what is boring to get it, and that's why you're here. So work on your front tuck skills, work on the drills. Boring class time. Okay, so if your class is boring, you will see a lack of engagement. If you need someone to tell you your class is boring, then you are not paying close enough attention to body language. Somebody comes up to you and goes, this is boring. You should be able to predict that just by looking at their eyes, their head positioning, their shoulders, their body language, the tone of voice. You're going to see lack of engagement in the eyes. You're going to see heads going to be down or swiveling and looking at other things. You're going to see shoulders hunched over or constantly fidgeting and moving around. You're going to see the vocal aspect disappear because they're bored, they're not engaging, or you're going to see them vocally become a distraction and start talking to everybody else and not listening to you. There are signs. Pick up on them before they take over your class. Always stay ahead of the class. Okay, so you need to be able to pick up the signs and then change something so that you stay ahead of the boredom. You're working with kids. They're going to get bored. They're curious. They want to explore new things. They don't want to sit and think about the same thing over and over again. They want a new hit of emotional rush that just goes pow, this feels good, pow, that feels good, I just achieved something, I just made connections, I just overcame this, and it's just got to go ding 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 ding, like it's just fireworks going off in their brain. So stay ahead of the class. If you're going to do something boring, let the class know ahead of time. However, do not give them a way out. So, hey, today we're going to do some conditioning. It's not going to be the most fun thing in the world, but it will make you stronger, and getting stronger gets you skills. And that's why we're here, right? We're here to get skills. Who wants to get a backflip? Raise your hand. Awesome. Who wants to get a front flip? Raise your hand. Cool. Well, this is what we need to do to be able to get our flips. Is it going to be fun? No. But can we enjoy it? Yes. And the more we enjoy it, the sooner we'll get our skills. It's just framing the whole mindset of hard work is still hard work, but it does get a result. So, at the same time, try not to play into predictable patterns such as conditioning is hard, or beam is boring, or a skill is too hard. So you don't go to conditioning, you just go, hey guys, we're doing conditioning, and conditioning is really hard. Because now you just left it with conditioning is hard. You put the power in that conditioning is hard, and well, I don't want to do things that are hard, and there's no purpose. Conditioning is hard, however, we have to do things that are difficult sometimes in order to achieve the goals we want. Now you're putting the power into the thing you want instead of the thing that is difficult. So you got to make sure that you understand how your words are being used to place power. Beam is boring. Beam is only boring if you don't want to get better at beam. Who wants to get better at beam? Nobody raises their hand. Fantastic. Nobody wants to get better at beam. Then beam is going to be boring. So now you got to figure out how do you get kids to raise their hand to say, I want to get better at beam. Well, now you got to paint vision for them. You got to say, hey, we're doing handstands on a beam. We're going to make sure we can get our handstands. Then we're going to go to cartwheels. Then we're going to go to TikToks. Then we're going to go to walkovers. Pretty soon we're doing back handsprings. Later today, we're going to all do double backflips off the beam. Pretty soon their eyes are going to be like, wait, we're doing double backflips off the beam? I can't do a double backflip off the beam. How am I ever going to get there? Now they have the sense of anxiety and worry. They're not thinking about beam is boring. They're going to thinking about how am I going to survive this session if you're going to make me do a double backflip off the beam. Changes the power struggle. Skills are not hard, okay? You take time to learn how to ride your bike. It takes forever. Once you learn how to ride a bike, it's easy. So is riding a bike difficult, or is learning to ride a bike difficult? So that's where it is. Skills are not hard or difficult if you know how to do them. The other thing is that is predictable. So instead, okay, so don't do anything that is predictable. I don't know why it just says that is predictable, but basically you want to stay out of predictability land, because predictability land tends to put us in a rut. Now, you can be predictable in the sense that every class you say similar jokes, every rotation you have the same vibe. There can be predictability in that. However, with your class, you want to be able to add freshness, curveballs, change it up. So, right, you want to stay in opposite land. Trampoline is boring, and they're going to go, no, it's not. Okay, you're predictable in the sense of setting it up like a joke. Jokes are predictable in that they have a setup and then they got a punchline. So trampoline is the setup, is boring is the punchline. Really, trampoline is boring is the setup actually, and the response is the punch of it's like, no, they're not, and no, it's not, and it's like that's the response that you're trying to get. So you're setting it up and you're knocking it down, and you're like, trampoline is boring. And they're like, no, it's not. You got engagement. Bars is the most exciting event out of all the events. You're going to get some kids who are like, no, it's not. I hate bars. Bars hurts my hands. And you're like, I know. Isn't it awesome? I love having pain in my hands. Oh my goodness. Some days I wake up and I'm just like, man, I wish my hands had pain running through them. And if I could just go hang on the bar for 5 minutes, I would feel so much better. Wouldn't you? You're just messing with them. Okay, by doing this, kids are like a calculator. If you say 1 + 1 equals, or you just type in 1 + 1, they have to say 2. That's just how they operate, because they are so rational. At the same time, they love fantasy. The humor is that they struggle with crossing over rationality with fantasy. So if you're like 1 + 1 equals 3, most kids will be like, no, it's not, it's 2. You're wrong. And they want to tell you you're wrong, and they will go right to rational land. And you're like, nah, 1 + 1 is 3. And then you just start making up random ways that 1 + 1 can equal 3. You can be like, see, this one grouping of 2 things plus this one thing of one thing makes 3 things. And they're like, yeah, because that's 3 things. You're like, no, see, this is a one grouping. Like here we have a grouping of 2 things, but it's just a group of them. So a pair, so one pair plus a single thing equals 2, which was really 3 things. And you just mess with them. And pretty soon you're going to create an engagement, and you're going to learn the tricks of the trade of basically create these setups, with blending fantasy and reality, and really just mess with them and then have fun in the process with not taking your class too crazy over the top, because they still need to learn. Class pacing. You must engage every second of the moment with the students. This is the basically learning how to create the setup and then the punch line and the knockdown. So if they're not physically doing something, you should be asking something of them, so they must listen. If you're not asking something of them, they must be doing something. There is always something being inputted into their minds, because if you let half a millisecond go by, they are firing neurons like a nuclear reactor on steroids. I mean, they are a constellation of sparks in their mind just exploding, that if you do not give them something to think about, to do, to ponder on, to engage with, to listen to, they're going to find something else. That's just what it's going to be. They're going to see some other distraction, and it's not their fault. They are children, and this is what children do. Sure, you might have some really well-behaved kids, but think of them as the anomalies, not the commonplace, the normal, the regular, the mass. Okay, so constantly be giving them input. Ask something of them to do. Hey, we're standing on the line. Everyone put your finger on your nose. Everyone's to balance on one foot. Go to a push-up position. Sit in a pike position. You can just talk and throw things out, and then they're going to do it while you're setting up, or throw random things out while they're walking. All right, everybody, we need to make sure that we are walking with our arms out like airplanes. Now we need to put our arms in high. Now we need to put our arms in low. Now everybody freeze, because there's a monster walking by. We don't want him to see us, so we want to all pretend like we're trees. Do not move. I can see you moving, Timmy. I can see you wobbling, Sarah. The monster is going to see us and get us. And they're just giggling. Well, who's the monster? Where's the monster? You know, you're like, well, it's an invisible monster. Only I can see it. Or you call out another coach. You're like, Coach Fred is the monster, and we don't want Coach Fred to see us, right, Fred? Don't look at us, Coach Fred. And then, you know, Coach Fred looks, and everyone's like, you know, he sees us. You're just staying ahead of everything. You're keeping the engagement. You're pacing your class. So you stay ahead of their thoughts and body movements. As long as you are giving directions, they have less chance of their mind wandering. Give them information. My name is Raleigh. Ask them a question. What is your name? Ask for feedback. What is my name? Give them information. Your name is Broccoli. Surprise, their name's not Broccoli. But they don't know that, because they're expecting you to say their name, and instead you come up with a vegetable, and they're like, I don't like vegetables. It creates a twist in the story. You just took rational thinking and then incorporated fantasy, and the brains just got discombobulated and had a little mini explosion, and they're like, I don't know how to compute. Calculator failure. So we are standing on the line. Who is standing on the line? Are you standing on the line? Kid's not standing on the line. Bounce you go. Class is over in 30 minutes. The sooner we are on the line, the sooner we can learn. It's a serious truth. It makes you appear to care about their time, so it's sincere. Hey, everybody, we all need to be standing on the line and paying attention, so I can give you information so we can do gymnastics, because when we do gymnastics, we get to flip, and flips are cool. Who's standing on the line? 3, 2, 1, let's see what we got. Cool. All right, so we're trying to learn flips, but what we're going to start with is forward rolls. Who knows what a forward roll is? Everybody? Fantastic. Or are we still standing on the line? Just keeping the pacing and boom, 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 boom. Not, all right. Can we all stand on the line? Sarah? Sarah, can you stand on the line? Thank you. It's boring. Like, who wants to listen to that? You'd be bored of that. You'd be like, oh my goodness, can we go on? Like, this teacher is so out of touch with reality. I just want to have fun. So work on your pacing. This is just an exercise in the sense of you need to be a rapid fire, be able to say things, right? So it's like, stand, sit. What color is my shirt? Stand. Why are we standing? Mimic me. Straight tuck, straddle, pike, pike, straddle, tuck, straight tuck. Except you pike, so then they see that you're doing it wrong. You yell straddle, but you do a tuck, and then they see you doing it wrong. You yell pike, and then you do something straight, and they see that you're doing it wrong, and then you look around, and you're like, what's wrong? You know, and then they argue, and then argue with them about being right. You're like, well, this is a pike, and you show them a straight position. Well, this is a tuck, and you show them a straddle position. And so you mess with them because, again, you're bringing fantasy into rational thinking, and they cannot stop being like, no, that's wrong. This is a tuck. No, this is a pike. And then you ignore them. Then acknowledge that they were right and praise them, and then give them more commands. So you're like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. You clearly do not know what you're talking about. And then you carry on, and then you look at them and you smirk and you smile and you say, just kidding. I know you guys are right. You were right. Congratulations. You give them the praise for, in a sense, challenging you because they were pursuing after what was right, what was correct. And you're like, yes, this is what I want to see. So when somebody does something wrong, you don't follow them. You still do what is right because you know what is right. It's setting them up for character development by being very, very quick-witted and keeping engagement and then messing with them and then praising them for not going along with the funniness. Wording. So here's just words that can change how kids react. Freeze, stop, popsicle, stalactite, stalagmite, pause. Okay, these are all words to get somebody to stand still. Stop, not really my favorite word. Freeze, much better. Popsicles, fun. Stalactite, nobody knows what the heck you're talking about. Pause is kind of like there's a blank space in the conversation and people are just like, that was weird. Pause I like a lot. Now, in my normal life, okay, just hanging out with my friends, if we're driving in a car and I think they're doing something dumb, I will say death. Because I've been in enough car situations where people do dumb things and I'm like, we're going to die. So it's easier to say death than it is to say stop. Stop doesn't create a reaction, but if you just go death, all of a sudden they're like, huh? We're going to die? And it just creates a sense of urgency because the word death is not something most people commonly hear. So same thing with pause. Pause is like telling someone to shut up, but almost like the nicest way possible that they don't know how to like respond irritated to it. You just go pause and they're just like, oh, okay. I got to pause. Interesting. Never really been told to pause before. Usually you hear stop. It's like more aggressive. Stop. That's an aggressive. But pause, it takes away the aggressiveness, but it tells the sense of urgency like we're still stopping. And go is coming up, right? Because pause usually has play attached to it. So go's coming up, but we're just pausing. It's a better way of getting their attention. Ready, go. So when you're commanding the group, you set them up with the word ready, and then you hit go. And ready, go is a pacing, ready, go, ready, go. So they have a rhythm attached to it. So first group, ready, go. Second group, ready, go. Third group, ready, go. There's a rhythm, so now they have this, what their movement rhythm is supposed to be like. Start over. Okay, instead of just being like, you fail, or you suck, or that wasn't good enough, just start over. And very casually, like, start over. Hey, Jessica, you need to start over. No big deal. Just start over, right? Or you can get super excited. You're like, oh my goodness, I can't believe you're so close, but you got to start over. Too bad. Sorry. Goodbye. I use this sometimes when somebody is being a little bit too silly, over the top, and they just need to tone it down a bit. I say goodbye. And so instead of saying start over, I'll be like, goodbye. And they usually know that means they need to start over, but it's kind of like, I'm not just telling you to start over. I'm kind of done with the silliness and you're taking it over the top. So goodbye, see you later. And so it kind of has a restart effect because now when they see you again, it's like, oh, hello, how's it going? How you doing? Oh, you haven't figured it out yet? Okay, well, goodbye. See you later. You have to be careful with how you present the words because the words can sound pretty rude. If you're just like, goodbye, like you don't care about the person, it's not going to work. Okay, we are getting a drink. So we're getting a drink. Save us some water. There is a drought. These are just fun things. They're like, all right, we're getting a drink, everyone. Make sure you save us some water. There is a drought. So just putting a story to getting the drink. Oh my goodness, don't drink too much water because sand is going to come out of the drinking fountain. Don't drink too much water because the whales are not going to have anything to swim in. Then they're going to be like, well, it's not salt water. And you're like, oh, well, that's good. Well, it's the freshwater whales. There's no whales in freshwater. That's the point, right? Keep the conversation going by saying just random silliness and see where the conversation takes you. Who knows what to do? Great. Can you demonstrate? That's it. Just who knows what to do? Some kid raises their hand. Oh, great. You know what to do. Can you demonstrate? And then they sit there and they go, I don't really know actually what to do. You're like, oh, okay, fantastic. Well, at least you raised your hand and you're bold and you want to participate. That's good. Who doesn't know what to do? Great. Let me teach you. You will be my demonstrator. Use kids who don't know what to do as the demonstrator because you get 2-for-1 deal. You're teaching them what to do and they're showing the rest of the class. That's way better than taking somebody who already knows what to do and then a kid shows up and they're like, well, I don't know what to do. And then you have to reteach them. So teach the kid who doesn't know in the demonstration and you get a 2-for-1 deal. Keep going. Don't stop. It isn't over. We are not done. Okay? Got to motivate them. So, hey, everyone, let's keep going. Don't stop. It isn't over. We are not done. So keep going. Don't stop. It isn't over. We are not done. Keep going. Don't stop. It isn't over. We are not done. You just keep putting this on replay. Now, eventually it's going to fall on deaf ears because of the predictability. But you could just mix it up and be like, don't be going anymore. Keep stopping. It's almost over, but it's not. We're done. Okay, just kidding. No, we're not. And all of a sudden they're just like, what are you talking about? You just start saying gibberish. But it's engaging with them and it changes predictability. Hello, excuse me, hi, crazy monkey, applesauce, human being. Ways to get people's attention. You can say hello, excuse me, hi, hello, hi. Like you're getting their attention, but you're doing it differently than just yelling their name. Crazy monkey, hello, crazy monkey, come here, crazy monkey. Giving them just a silly phrase character, applesauce. Just say something random to see if you can catch their attention. I usually say human being when I'm trying to speak to like their soul instead of their name. I'm like, okay, human beings, we really need to figure this out. Like we really need to connect our neurological transmitters to our body. So let's do this. Amazing, fantastic, wonderful, wow, beautiful, incredible, right on, very good. These are just awesome words that you got to be using regularly. Kid does something amazing. Kid does something else. That was fantastic. That was wonderful. Oh my goodness, that's incredible, beautiful, right on, very good. You're just saying this constantly, praising them. Anne has a really good point. She talks about how she likes to use words as if they are verbal awards. So you're not giving them out freely, but they're earning them. And I think that's a fantastic idea is give out these words as if you're earning them and they are verbal awards. So right idea, almost there. I see your effort. You're trying, keep going more. Just encouraging them to keep going through the process. Right idea. A kid does something close, but it's not accurate. It's the right idea. Someone says, can you watch me? And they make a little mistake. Well, it's almost there. Somebody tries and they can't do it. It's like, I see your effort. At least I see your effort. Right? So you're trying. You're just encouraging them through the path. They're failing like miserably, but you're giving them words of affirmation to say, hey, just keep persevering and you're going to get it. We need, we like, can we, is anyone able to, who is. Just the we factor. Getting people included in a group. We need to do this. We would like, can we have, is anybody able to? You're looking for the one person in the group. Who is looking for the one person in the group? And then you're going to say, we need to be like this person, or can we all be like this? So it's pulling in the group atmosphere by using the word we. Relationship. How you want to build a relationship? Well, you got to get them to be a part of the process. I need your help. I need your help to make sure that we all stay in line. I need your help to make sure that we can set up and tear down efficiently. I need your help to make sure that you guys all have straight arms so we can stay safe. We are trying to accomplish this task, setting them up for success. This is what we're trying to accomplish. And if we can accomplish it, then we are doing what we need to be doing. It's awesome. Let's see if we can accomplish it. Who doesn't understand? Don't ask for people who do, who doesn't understand. Because if you don't understand, that's the person I want to help. Because I got to bring you into the fold. I got to make sure that you understand so we all understand. Because the whole group must understand. What are we doing? Who knows what we are doing? Awesome. You know what we're doing? Well, I want to know from somebody who doesn't talk a lot. What are we doing? get somebody else to step up and give them an opportunity to speak. What are we doing? Hey, Rebecca, do you know what we're doing? And see if she knows. And she's like, shakes her head, no, I don't know what we're doing. Okay, cool. Well, do you understand what we're doing? No, I don't understand. Oh, well, let me help you. You did fantastic. Pointing out verbal praise, using those verbal awards, get them excited. Let them know things are impressive. High five to you. Somebody does something that you asked them to, and you're just like, well, you get a big high five. Letting the whole group know that you're going to give out high fives based off of people doing their job well. Fist bump to you. Superstar. You're on your way. You're on your way. I love using this one in the sense of it paints a picture for the future. You're on your way to your goal. So it lets them know like, wow, you hit a mile marker. You're on your way. Yep, you're on your way. I'm excited for you. You're getting closer. It's like the hot and cold game, right? You're getting warmer. You're on your way. So I really like that. And it builds that relationship because now they're looking to you to help them measure their mile markers essentially. So developing excellence, and it looks like, okay. I started seeing, okay, here we go. So it looks like we're getting into some relic stuff because I see relationships, excellence, learning, integrity, communication. So now we're getting into relic. Okay, so relationship, I need your help, right? We talked about this, you're on your way. So now we're getting to excellence, and this is what we're looking for amazing. So we want to let people know when they look amazing. We want to show them or let them know when they wowed us. We need straight legs. We're trying to create some form of a standard. We need straight legs. When they give you straight legs, wow, that was amazing. You'll get it in time. Okay, excellence comes in time. So teaching patience, you'll get it in time. Don't worry about it. We're just working on our straight legs, but in time, you'll get it. Well, you're getting closer. Okay, well, you're getting closer. Somebody tries a little bit harder. Well, you're getting closer. Wow. Okay. You're putting in effort. You care a little bit more than you did 10 seconds ago. Awesome. Well, you're getting closer. Again, the hot cold game. You're getting there. You're getting warm. You're getting warmer. Keep trying. Just letting them know, hey, keep trying. Don't give up. I can see your effort. Just keep trying. I know it's difficult. Listen, I know it's difficult. Keep trying. Right? I know it's difficult. What you're doing is difficult. So you're acknowledging it, but you're still not taking away the value of doing it. And that's what's important. I know it's difficult, but you're really doing a great job at persevering. So keep trying because you're getting closer and you'll get it in time. Just work on your straight legs. All right? And just find the wow in that and you'll be amazing. Learning. Who remembers? If you're trying to teach somebody something, it has nothing to do with what you say. It has everything to do with what they remember. So ask them what they remember. And if they remember, you know you've taught them something. What are we doing? What are we doing? We're standing here by the vault, but what are we doing? Who remembers? Who remembers what we are doing? What we are doing, right? Just you can change the tone, the pacing, and get them engaged in listening to the conversation. This is super important. Okay, everyone, listen up, listen. Super serious tone conversation right now. This is super important. Like, if eating vegetables was important, this is more important. Like, if going to school was important, this is almost as important as going to school. School is probably a little bit more important than this, but this is pretty close to being important. I mean, it's pretty. So school is probably like extra super important, and this is super important. You get what I'm saying? Super important. If listening to your parents was more important than super important, then this is actually probably a little bit further away from listening to your parents because you should all listen to your parents. But this right here is super important. Okay? And you're just painting a picture of what's important and how does it measure and relate to what importance this is. Remember, we need to. Okay. Remember, we need to apply ourselves 100% of the time. That's what we need to do. Why? Why do we need to do that? Who knows? Who knows why we need to do that? Because it's going to get us better. Exactly. And why are we here? To get better. Awesome. So it's super important that you remember we need to. Okay. Who is going to get it first? The question here is, who is going to get it first? You don't even have to tell them what they're doing. All right, everyone. The first question I have for you is, who's going to get it first? Who's going to get what first? Well, the question is, who's going to get it first? Well, what? It doesn't matter what it is. Whatever it is, are you going to get it first or are you going to get it second? Oh, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Oh, so you'll get it second then. Well, no, I won't get it second. Well, it sounds like it because you didn't say you're going to get it first. So clearly you'll get it second. Oh, so you'll get it third? Pretty soon you get somebody to go, I'll get it first. Fantastic. You're going to get it first. We're doing a triple backflip standing on the floor. Can you do a triple backflip standing on the floor? All of a sudden their eyes get, as big as saucers. They're like, no. Just kidding. We're doing forward rolls, right? Now you're engaging in their learning. Learning has a lot to do with surprise. Integrity. I believe in you. Why? Because they have integrity and you're believing in their character. You're not believing in their name. You're believing in their character. I believe in you. I know you can do it. The you is their character, not the person as my name's Timmy. I don't believe Timmy can do it. I believe what's inside of Timmy can do it. And there's more to Timmy than just his name. Hang in there. Okay? Because integrity is difficult to have. Integrity is a challenge. So hang in there. I get it. Have empathy with them. Hang in there. It will get better over time. Keep trying. It is hard. You are doing fantastic. You're empathizing with them. Man, this is tough, but you're doing fantastic. And I really don't want you to give up because it is so worth it when you get the skill. You'll feel so good about yourself. Stay in line, please. It's integrity. Hold them accountable to class formats, to etiquette, and to following direction. Eyes. Okay, people do not listen with their ears, they listen with their eyes. So make sure you get eye contact. Eyes. I want to see your eyes. And then you're going to know that they're absorbing the information. Communication. Our goal is, putting together the we again, our goal. The expectation is, the standard is. What is your favorite school subject? It's communication. Getting them to add something to the conversation. Do you have any pets? Communication gets them to add something to the conversation. Make sure communication is not just a one-lane road, but it's a two-lane road, and you're getting feedback. That feedback is super, super important. You need to know more about what's going on inside their head. They do not need to hear you talk. If you're somebody who needs to hear yourself talk, start a podcast. But they need to be speaking because that is when it transforms their mind. So the more they communicate, the more it's going to change their mind. And the more their mind changes, the more their body and emotions will change. The facts. All right. Here's what you need to know. Now, I started out coaching gymnastics at about 13 and a half years old. I knew absolutely nothing. I was a complete idiot and terrible coach. Okay. I just like to put extremes on things so you can paint a picture. I was bad. All right. If you think you're bad at coaching, I was probably worse. All right. So how did I get to where I am today? Well, I kept in mind everything that I hated about my life growing up, and I made sure I just didn't do it. I remember my rec coaches that I had from Parks and Rec, and it's like I didn't like the way they coached. I didn't like what they made me do. It was pointless. I didn't learn anything from it. I didn't use it. So don't coach that way. And you have similar experiences. You have similar experiences with teachers, with other coaches, with family members, parenting, whatever. And there's things that you're just going to go, I don't like how I get spoken to or talked to. I don't like how I have to do certain exercises or I have to sit here. I don't like how they present. It's boring. Just don't be like that. Basically, that's all Disney did. Disney's like, what is all the most boring things in the world? Let's just not do those things. So we all want to learn at our own pace. That's a fact. We all want to learn at our own pace. The more in control you are of your learning, the more enjoyable it is. That's a fact. We all enjoy learning when the subject is of interest because the word interest means that it's interesting, which means it's captivating our thoughts and our time. So if the subject is not of interest, most people get bored or check out. So make the subject interesting so that people want to pay attention. We all mentally check out of boring teachers. I have not seen too many people pay attention to boring teachers and be like, yeah, I really enjoyed that, because boring teachers tend to be boring And most people who find things boring usually think they're smarter than whatever the teacher is presenting, so they check out. Don't be boring. We all want someone to be interesting, while we ourselves can struggle with staying interesting. This is an interesting one because it seems to me that we ask for more of others than we do of ourselves, and that seems pretty normal. So as a coach, it's easy to go in asking for more of the athletes than to give them the best of yourself. So start with going, how can I give you my best? And then see where that takes you. So remember what you do not like. We ask more from others than we do ourselves. Okay. So remember what you do not like about school and then do everything in your power to be different. That's all I did. Remember what I didn't like about school and then I did everything in my power to be different. And more than likely, you're going to turn into a rock star coach and kids are going to love you and they'll be your biggest fan. Disneyland can keep the attention of this child, therefore so can you. Remember that. Nickelodeon can keep the attention of this child, so therefore so can you. Video games keep the attention of this child, therefore so can you. Candy can keep the attention of this child, therefore so can you. Jokes can keep the attention of this child, therefore so can you. Superheroes can keep the attention of this child, therefore so can you. Just write a giant long list of everything that keeps the attention of a child and then say so can I, because all you have to do is mimic those things and make sure that you are magical, fun and wacky, progress in levels, are sweet, are surprising, are fantastic and epic and mesmerizing. I mean, that's all you got to do. And you're going to have the captivity, you're going to captivate your class and they're going to want to do whatever you say and they're going to get better because they're going to care, because you're going to show them how to care, because you're going to become interesting. And that's the start of building the relationship. So there you have it. I'm pretty sure that's the end of it. ClassMagic, engaging your class. There's probably a whole lot more. We probably could write a novel on the subject matter. But the key is that you do more of the exercises of kind of what we did in this presentation. Write down words that you know are going to get engagement, are going to be captivating, are going to pace the class and keep the pace going, are going to frame their mindset rightly. Find the words, master those words, get used to saying those words, because those words have power. And as long as you're using the words appropriately, you're going to do great and you will see results. So there you go, ClassMagic, engaging your class. As always with this specifically, go find people that coach better than you and watch them and listen to them, because more often than not, it has to do with their words and their pacing, and learn that stuff. And that you can just record, tap into, mimic, replicate, do it. And as you get better at it, it will work. So there you have it. Have fun.